Hey guys, welcome to our new YouTube channel. My name's Harvey, this is Alex. Today we're going to be doing a bit of a podcast talking about our journey from where we started to where we are now with YouTube automation. And we're here joined with Craig.
Yo, what's up guys? So my name's Craig. I am an ex-business partner of Harvey and I met Alex also a couple of years ago. So in this podcast, I'm going to try and be a bit of a host, ask these guys questions, provide you guys as much value as possible. We're going to be diving into what you guys have done in the past. Obviously, Harvey's done drop shipping with me in the past. He actually introduced me to e-commerce. And that was like 5-6 years ago. So he's had a huge long journey doing a bunch of different things in e-commerce and now focusing on like YouTube automation with Alex as well. And then Alex has done a bunch of interesting stuff as well. Sneaker botting, bunch of random different things really. Bit of drop shipping here and there. And now both of these guys are doing YouTube automation together, right? So I think you guys have like a really interesting story. So I kind of want to dive deep into that. We'll start with Harvey first, I suppose. Like, how did you first get into online business? And when was that as well? Actually, how old are you guys?
I'm 22.
I'm 24.
Yeah, so when did you first start online business, Harvey?
I think first sort of business experience was when I was maybe 14. Did so many things back then, you know, selling Photoshop templates. Did a bit of YouTube back then as well. It was actually kind of my first successful business was YouTube back in the day. But what about yourself?
Yeah, similar aspect to him. I started at around 14, 15. My business journey really started in the sneaker reselling niche. I saw loads of people wearing Yeezys and I wanted to know why they were so expensive online and how I could get them. And everything just kind of spiraled from there, really.
So after kind of those initial things where you're doing like kind of side hustle-y stuff, when was the first time that you saw like real money, like substantial money, where you were like, yo, this is potentially something I can actually do longer term into the future and make a real career essentially out of it?
Yeah. So for me, the first time was sort of, we were both at college, and college is when you're 16, 17.
Yeah. So just before you go to university for like US guys.
Yeah. So I started doing dropshipping back then. I didn't have a load of success. And then when I finished college, I just saw a load of success. I think I went from 0 to 100K in 1 month. That was my first sort of big success with it. And then we kind of started working together on a few things. And within 6 months, I think we'd done more than maybe $500,000 in revenue from e-commerce. So that was kind of my first, maybe we can actually pursue business sort of more long term and not just small side hustly things, I guess.
Yeah, we'll chuck up some screenshots on screen as well of those kind of first results that you saw as well, and also we saw together. So why do you think you kind of first saw success then? Because a lot of people watching these videos right now might have not seen any success with any online business before. Why do you think at such a young age you saw like a 6-figure months? Like why do you think that happened?
I think there's a few reasons. One is kind of a lot of persistence and just like throwing mud at the wall and then waiting till something works. But I think especially for dropshipping and e-commerce back then, kind of market timing in a way, this was kind of when dropshipping wasn't as tapped into. And then also we had the COVID boom. Everyone was inside, everyone was on their phones. So it was a lot easier to sell to people in that time period. So it kind of, really boosted our success with e-commerce essentially.
Yeah, cool. So Alex, when did you first start seeing like that real kind of money where you realized like, yo, I can actually make some significant cash with this? Because I remember when I first met you, you were doing like pretty fucking well already, and you were like, 17, 18?
Yeah, 16, 17. So, I got into the sneaker community and I immediately kind of started to make what's formerly known as a cook group, essentially an information group. You have loads of members, pay a monthly membership. I think at 16, I had a group, it was called Plug Notify, and we had at its peak around 750 people paying $45 a month. I very quickly noticed that in the sneaker community, it was a bit better if I was on the business side of it. So running the group, and then people bought products called proxies. So I started a proxy company, and that's how I actually met you guys. And very quickly, again, quite good market timing, managed to scale that to 30, 40K a month, literally within the first 2 months. And I ran that for a couple years. And so that was the first time I really saw like, wow, if I'm obsessed with something and I put loads of time into it, this will pay, it will really pay off. And I think to see that at a young age really gave me that boost to realize that there is real money out there that can be made. So yeah.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. Okay, so turning more towards like what you guys are doing now, because I think that's the more interesting stuff, the stuff that can provide like obviously the people watching this a lot of value as well. So like, give me a brief overview of what you guys do right now, as if I know, I mean, I kind of fucking don't really know much about it at all, but like to give me a brief overview of what you guys do right now to make money and enable you to live in Thailand and do whatever the fuck you want to do.
So we do YouTube automation. We don't necessarily do it in a traditional sense. We've kind of found our own path and strategy that it works very, very well.
What is YouTube automation?
So YouTube automation is, instead of you being on camera and making the videos yourself, generally you hire a team and you basically automate every single role of it. So script writing, voiceovers, editing, all of that stuff, you will automate it. Now, most people, when they do this, they will kind of just shoot blanks into the air. They'll waste a lot of money on teams. So we took an approach of kind of systemizing it and being able to really efficiently produce videos that consistently generate money. A lot of people, when they do YouTube, they focus on browse-based content. Now, browse-based content is stuff like Mr. Beast. This is videos that you're not necessarily looking for. So maybe it's a challenge video. They're often trend videos, and something that might get views for a couple of weeks and then die off. Whereas what we do is something called search-based content. This is when you go into the YouTube search bar and you ask a question. So you might ask, how do I play a chord on this guitar? The videos will pop up and you'll click on one of those, and then the person who made that video will get paid for it. The reason we prefer this is because the views can keep generate forever. The reason we like this is because the views can keep generating forever, because stuff like playing the guitar is always going to be a relevant topic. It's been relevant for hundreds of years, and it will be relevant for hundreds of years in the future. So people are always going to be looking for this content, meaning you will always be getting a consistent stream of views that compounds over time, essentially.
Yeah, so it's like essentially building an asset that can kind of survive for years and years and years to come. And it's essentially like kind of search engine optimization, kind of similar to that, right?
Similar.
And what YouTube, I assume, is the second biggest search engine, second to Google.
I think
right?
it's second or third, but yeah, it's 2 billion searches per day, so it's absolutely huge.
Yeah, and I obviously know, I watch loads of tutorials on YouTube. I'm sure loads of other people do as well. And I think people forget often how much money a lot of these people making these like kind of simple videos that are just hitting on those kind of niche keywords, stuff that's very specific, can just make. So like in terms of the monetization strategy, go more into depth about that side of things, because that's really interesting, because the money is something that's hard to grasp for people that don't understand YouTube at all.
Yeah. So the primary way we make money is from advertisers putting ads on our videos, and that's automatically done through YouTube, so we don't have to worry about any of that stuff. But essentially, when someone clicks on our video, and when you watch a video, you will get an ad at the start of it. We get paid every time somebody watches that ad. We also like to target niches where they're very high paying. So for example, a gaming video, you might get paid £1 per 1,000 viewers, whereas we will target videos that will get us paid, £300 per 1,000 viewers. So we target things that don't necessarily need to get millions of views. We can get 10,000 views and still make $3,000, and it's still, it's really worth it.
Why do some niches pay more than other niches?
So when you've got an audience with a high buying intent, so business owners are willing to pay more for things, whereas if you're advertising, to kids, you might buy like a £10 toy, whereas a business might spend £10,000 on a software. So the advertisers can spend a lot more money to acquire a customer, meaning we get paid a lot more to get the views, basically.
So in terms of like when you actually started this, how long did it take you to actually see some level of success with it?
To be honest, it was very quick. I actually paid a guy to basically run me through how he was running his operation, and he gave me some really good guidance. And within, the first month I was already making some amount of money. And the way it kind of works is the more videos you post, they just make more and more money over time. So it essentially was just a pretty linear spike from the very moment I started, really. There was no, obviously down the road I learned which videos to make, which niches are good, how to, things to avoid, and obviously it made the progress faster, but it kind of made money pretty quickly because it's quite a simple business model when you actually look into it.
So obviously you both have done kind of a lot of like the popular money making methods, particularly like drop shipping and also sneaker reselling. That's like a huge side hustle. It used to be a lot more popular, but kind of died off a bit now. But how would you compare something, YouTube automation, the stuff that you guys are doing right now, in terms of like beginner friendliness? Like, does it cost a lot of money to get started compared to something like Shopify dropshipping?
I mean, the great thing with the way we do things is there's many ways to go about it. So if you want to hire a team and scale really quickly, you can. But if you just want to have like a little kind of side hustle and want to make a few videos yourself every day, you're still able to quickly get a recurring amount of money every single month from the videos that you make. So it's really, really flexible based upon your goals and what you actually want to do with YouTube, basically.
Yeah.
What would you say like the main, obviously there's loads of positives to YouTube automation. I think a lot of people on YouTube and stuff, and a lot of people that talk about online business methods and stuff like this, they always talk about the positives. What are some kind of negatives to YouTube automation compared to something like dropshipping? Like something you noticed that it's like, it's maybe harder for a specific reason, or maybe the scalability, or maybe it's a bit of a steep learning curve to scale. Because that's one thing I realized with kind of the Etsy dropshipping stuff that I do. It's quite easy to get going and get up in the beginning, but then it's hard to break beyond like a barrier of like say 25 to 30K profit per month. And then it comes down to scaling out a huge team. Because I know this is a very interesting thing as well, is that you guys have quite a large team of virtual assistants, right? Employees in the Philippines. Was that a hard thing to actually find and start to figure out and get that kind of down and get that systems optimized?
What I'd say is with traditional YouTube, where people make trendy videos, it's quite skill based. You have to hire talent. You have to hire people who are good at writing scripts, good at editing, good at ideation, good at thumbnails. All of these other things, you have to actually hire real talent. When the way that we do it with YouTube search kind of eliminates all of those things. You don't need to hire talent. You just need to hire people that can follow a set process. So traditional YouTube is quite difficult, but the way that we do it is it's not really very skill based. It's kind of just like volume based, really. But yeah, building the teams initially was quite hard because we didn't have any idea how to do it effectively. But I guess you can talk more about this because you kind of spend a lot more time doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, to get started, obviously building, the entire idea of building a team can be quite daunting. Luckily, in our case, we did have some experience hiring abroad. So we hired from the Philippines, and that did help us. But it isn't actually too hard to get started. We tested a lot of the ideas ourselves, and we created processes for making these videos. And once these processes were created and standardized in a very simple way, we were able to hand those off to people that don't necessarily have to be very skilled. As an example, in our case, the people that do the videos for us, the only skills we require is you just need to be able to research and browse the internet. And then we fill in the gaps with our tools. So it wasn't actually that hard. I think
the only difficult part about what we do is just sticking to it. But that's kind of the same as any business model. You just basically have to stick to it for, 3 months before you see like some real great results. But if you can stick out 3 months, then it's not really difficult at all. Honestly, it's easy.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I really can't think of many downsides, to be honest.
Yeah. Obviously, there's a huge upside, right? I know you guys mentioned this to me previously, but like exiting a YouTube account, I don't think a lot of people realize that you can actually sell these essentially faceless kind of automation accounts, and you can sell the entire process as well. Because as you mentioned, it's an asset where you posted thousands of videos on
over 20,000 videos
Yeah.
we've made. We make so many videos, I don't even know.
Thousands and thousands of videos on these accounts that are continually getting views because people are always searching on how to play a guitar, how to do this, how to do this, how to do this. So the channel and the videos keep growing and keep growing and keep compounding over a long period of time, which is a great asset for someone to buy. So talk about the store that you guys exited and that you managed to sell to someone.
Yeah, so we had one, it was kind of the first proper one that we worked on. It was kind of a very experimental channel, just testing loads of things, and we got it up to a decent, consistent amount of profit every single month. One thing to note is like you spend money, creating the videos, and then once you stop creating the videos, they will continue generating money. So at that point, it's literally 100% profit. So it's very easy to show a buyer that, show them the margins, and they can essentially see that over 2 years it's going to make more money than they pay. So we built it up, and they paid us a 1x yearly multiple for it. It was very simple, and then we just took that cash and went ahead and invested into a load more channels.
How long was that channel live until you sold it?
8 months. That was like beginner to 8 months. It was sold, and it was like, this is crazy. This is great. Cash in the bank. Yeah.
So that was a full cash payout, because sometimes exit dates,
no buyouts.
Yeah, that's it.
Selling YouTube channels is actually like a common occurrence. I hear about it all the time. So the guy that we sold our channel to, he is buying channels all the time. I heard of a guy the other day who sold one of his channels for 250k. So it's really common to be able to basically build it and then sell it within like 6 months for like a year, 1x or 2x yearly multiple. So it's really liquid very quickly if you want it to be.
And it's worth mentioning that some of these channels that are sold, they don't even have 150k subs or 1 million subs. Some of these channels that are sold have sub 10k subs.
Our channel was like 6,000 subscribers.
Yeah, if you saw it, you'd think this is just a random channel. But the real metric is the revenue.
A lot of people clown on us as well in the videos, like, haha, you guys only have like 6k subs. Little do they know, they just like print. They're just literally money printers.
I think someone said, I feel bad for you. You have 7k videos, 2k subs. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And then I was laughing at it because I think you have no idea how much we've just made this month from this channel. So.
Yeah, it's true.
So obviously, from going like to a total beginner to selling a store in 8 months and getting a full exit of a year multiplier, which is like kind of insane, that you don't see that in any other business model ever. Like normally a business, just for a bit of context, is gonna have to be running really absolute minimum a year, really like 2, 3, 4 years. Normally like 2 or 3 years is when you can actually exit if it's seeing consistent growth. So it's crazy to exit after that period, right? But is that your strategy kind of going forward, to build these channels to then exit them, or to just build them to essentially have that passive income coming in over and over again?
Yeah, so we've got kind of 2 routes of it. One of the routes is to basically build a big network of channels. We have many channels right now, but basically get them all to a good consistent amount of revenue, so it's kind of diversified, and then sell the whole package, including the employees, everything, so it's like a full business, kind of sell it as a whole. I think there's multi-7 figure of value in that. Or we just get it to big numbers and just kind of live passively on that, because these videos will be making us money in 10 years time, because they will still be getting views. So we'll just have to see where we are in the end of the year, see what we want to do with it, really.
And a good example of that, one of the channels we have hasn't had any uploads in over 8 months, or probably 9 months now.
Yeah, 9 months.
And it still pays a very consistent almost salary to us each month, which is great. And it has exit value as well, so we can sell it at any time. So it's very liquid too, which is great.
Yeah.
So let's say someone's like totally and utterly like a complete and utter beginner, right? In terms of like investing money into this, because obviously it takes a bit of money to get things going, right? And to have the software a little bit, right? So like, how much money do you guys make now that you've got the systems down and stuff, like per video that you're uploading? And then also, how many videos are you uploading daily?
Yeah. So we tried to scale channels to around 3,000 to 5,000 videos, and every video we have on the channel will make us around £12 per year. So if we have 3,000 videos on one channel, that's 36k in revenue. That's 36k. Yeah, it's 36k in revenue, or 36k in revenue across 1 year. It might sound a lot. It might sound a lot making 3,000 videos, but these videos cost around £1 to make, so that's about £3,000 of investment into the actual videos, and this can be done in like less than 2 months with a very small team, because we optimize it very well, so each employee can make 45 videos per day. So with a very small team and about £3,000, you can essentially 10x that, make 36k over 1 year with that, 36k in revenue, which is 33k profit. So it's very, very liquid very quickly.
Yeah, so like what if someone had, like, a beginner was watching this and had, let's say, had like £1,000 or £2,000 to invest, like how much money, what is the ROI on that in, let's say, like a 12-month time frame?
Yeah, so if you had £1,000 and you put it into the teams, all of that, and they made the videos, you'd get about 1,000 videos. So over the course of 1 year, that'd be about £12,000. That's just in 1 year. So deduct your initial costs. So that's about £11,000 profit. And then that's year one. So year 2, year 3, you're also going to be making around the same. So across 3 years, you'll make like 30k from a 1k investment.
And you can also exit the store
And
as
you
well.
can also exit the store.
At like the year mark, you've taken the £11,000 profit off the table, and then you can also exit potentially for a 1x multiplier, so you get another 12, potentially
12K.
even more.
So you can turn 1k into 25k in 1 year essentially. Yeah. And if you what we do is we don't stop uploading. We just keep making videos we just don't stop. So if you make 500 videos per month for a year straight, that's 6,000 videos. You'll make £72,000, which is like 65k of that is profit. So you'll make 5k profit from an initial of like 1k or something, 2k. So it's really, really very liquid.
And to break it down as well, it is worth mentioning, some people will probably be thinking, well, how can I guarantee that all of these videos will be making £1 a month across the year? Well, it's not exactly that. That's the average that the videos will make. You have some videos that won't make anything. Then you also have some videos that will make 300, 500, 1,000, 3,000 pounds. So it is a game of averages. When you're firing this many shots into the dark, some of them are going to hit, and some of those shots are going to pay for the missed shots.
And that's why the strategy we do works very well, because we don't focus on making super expensive videos. We just make a load of videos, and then, as you say, the good ones will pay for everything. And this is where a lot of people go wrong, is they just spend too much money on videos that aren't going to do well.
Some people will spend $3,000 on one video, whereas $3,000 we can spend on just under 3,000 videos. And some of those 3,000 videos are going to do very well and pay for the rest plus more.
How many do very well?
It's about 1 in 10 will. So 10 videos will make like a little bit, and then one will pay for like 100 videos worth. So 10-20% will pay for everything basically.
Makes sense.
Another cool thing I like about YouTube as well is I enjoy gaming a lot. So I make a lot of tutorials. I have like a gaming tutorial channel, and when a new game comes out, I'll just make a load of tutorials about it. So when Elden Ring came out, the new DLC, I just made a load of tutorials, and I just got paid to basically play the video game and teach people. So that's really cool, and I still get paid like for playing video games. So that's another plus, is like you can make money playing video games with it. That's like one thing I like about it.
Yeah, that's huge. So what originally kind of attracted you to the YouTube automation side of things? Was it like the creative side of things that attracted you? Is it the consistency? Is it the freedom that it allows you to have because of the consistency with it?
Yeah, so I found that with a lot of business models, such as dropshipping, you have kind of like, you'll go 0 and you might scale to like 60k in a month, and then it'll drop off, and then you'll be screwed and you'll be looking for another product. With this, I could just see the model was basically, it just compounds over time. It doesn't have these crazy dip-offs, and it's just kind of building an asset over time, which grows and grows and grows. Whereas a lot of these business models, you're like always in the trenches. But at this point, you get the team, you set it up. As long as it's running smoothly, it's kind of set and forget, and you can just claim your money while it grows and just kind of live life with minimal time spent on it, really.
So how would you recommend like a total runner to beginner watching this video right now to actually go ahead and get started and get started? Like, how would they go about doing that? Doing research is the first step, like trying to do niche research, trying to understand YouTube more? Or is it like, okay, you need to learn how to do editing? Or is it like, okay, you need to figure out how to write AI scripts, or like just straight hire VAs?
So I mean, you don't need to know how to edit, we don't edit at all. You don't need to know how to do anything technical like that. What you need to do is you need to find a niche, and you basically need to find keywords in that niche that are getting a certain amount of views, which will then result in money for you. Yeah,
you want to, when you're first researching the niche, initially you're going to want to find video titles, that's what keywords means, or just types of videos to make that people are actively searching for, and that's how you qualify them.
So something like how to embroider a cushion.
Exactly. So if you found that niche, and you'll find so many niches that are untapped, where basically it's run by kind of old people or people that don't really have much technical know-how about YouTube, and you'll be able to basically scrape all of the videos that people have made that get views, and you can just make them way better, outrank them, and you're going to take that traffic basically and get paid for it. That's kind of what it is.
Yeah, it's really just about finding videos that are already doing well, and you just want to make a slightly better version of that video, because this is mostly about ranking too. You want to make money, you need to rank on top of the competition, and it's not that hard. It really kind of boils down to having a thumbnail that's good,
having videos that are longer than other people so that you get more watch time. It's just really simple though, but that's the main thing. Just find a niche, and then find videos within that niche that are getting views, and then just make them. And you don't have to worry about editing or anything like that. Just replicate the videos that are working and just make them a bit better.
So you said about the thumbnails, make the thumbnails good. What does that mean? Because I know there was like some tweet that you showed me the other day, and it was like 2 thumbnails, and they were like almost exactly the same. One just had like a slightly different color, and you were like, this is fucking, like, this means nothing kind of thing. So, like, what is a good thumbnail?
So we've spent quite a lot of time doing thumbnails, and we've argued a lot with other people in the space about thumbnails, but really it should just kind of visually show what the video is teaching, and it should be very easy to digest very quickly. So for us, we like to always put a face on our thumbnails, because people are attracted to eyes naturally. You connect eyes, and we also like to have some simple text under 6 words, which is very clear, and that's kind of our formula for thumbnails. You'll see so many people overcomplicating thumbnails and doing crazy colors and crazy fonts, and you just need to basically keep them simple and clear and easy to understand, really.
And sometimes these thumbnails that we make are so simple that they're essentially just a template, and so it's something that you essentially make once, and it's a one size fits all type of thing. Most of our tutorials have the same thumbnail template, edits here and there. It's not something you really need to worry too much about once you've made it too.
Yeah.
So in terms of like making people watch a video for a longer period of time, why does that matter? And then how do you do that compared to someone else's tutorial video? Because your video is just kind of like mimicking someone else's video, doing the same kind of thing, but you're getting someone to watch your video longer. So, but like how? Like why?
So the main thing is that YouTube will rank a video based upon the average watch time of it. So let's say your video gets 2 minutes of average watch time and a competitor's gets 1 minute. They're going to put your video above theirs on the ranking. Now, there's many ways to go ahead and make people watch for longer. The most simple way is basically make your video like 1 to 2 minutes longer than the competition. But you can also just kind of go more in depth with what you're teaching. So someone might cover a topic kind of surface level, but you can kind of double down and like go and give tips and tricks here and there, things that are useful just so they'll watch for longer, really. And we've kind of got very good at like artificially making the videos longer by basically being more helpful than everyone else's. There's so many different factors to do with ranking, but this is one of the biggest things. Just basically make videos better, really, like that.
Yeah, and just in the kind of umbrella term of making videos better, it really can mean a lot of things. It can mean the hook when someone actually initially watches the video, how helpful you are to start off with. There's a number of things.
Is it things like introductions? Because I know sometimes when I watch a tutorial video, the guy does like a fucking minute-long introduction and he's just like yapping. Is that like a strategy that actually works, or does that negatively impact a video if someone's just yapping for a fucking minute-long introduction?
So in the very first like 5 seconds, you want to basically say the title again. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you XYZ. Yeah. That also helps the algorithm because it scrapes your video and it will basically know what you're talking about, and people will click on that and they'll know that's the right video for them. But then, as you say, in the first like minute, you kind of want to have a little bit of waffle going on. it's a it's a balancing act, but also, some people will fill the first 6 minutes of the video with just straight waffle for like a 30-second thing, and it's effective. People will click through the video, and people will watch that for longer than a video that's a minute long. They just are going to, especially if they've watched the ad. They're like, I don't want to go back and watch another ad, and so they will stay. But there's obviously an art to it.
And other factors like voice as well can play into it. Sometimes strong accents can put people off. If you have very clear, distinct English, people are more likely to sit down and not be bothered by the voice at all and just be focused on the video.
Or like bad sound quality, crackly, bad resolution.
Enthusiasm as well in the voice can be
enthusiasm.
a thing.
There's
everything plays into it, really.
There's so many little 5% here and there that we basically kind of perfected in a way that means that we just always, well, not always, but like very often are able to beat people quite easily. Yeah.
So one thing, this is just because I'm kind of interested in it. I know sometimes when I look up things, it will go to a specific timestamp in a video. Is that a negative to you then? Because it doesn't start from right at the beginning, so you don't get the full retention? Or is that a positive?
So this is kind of good, actually. I think this helps rank on Google. So, if you go onto Google and you search a topic and a video comes up, when you click on it, it will auto go to that bit. I think because Google search works on useful content as well. So if your content...
Yeah, like it'll basically skip the introduction. It'll skip the introduction and it'll just go straight into the actual value of the video.
Yeah. So I think Google values that a lot. Like if a user is satisfied heavily with the video, then they rank you higher. So specifically with Google, and we get about 30% of our traffic from Google search. That helps. So yeah.
So obviously you guys now have been doing this for a long period of time and you're just kind of starting to talk about it publicly a little bit now. So I don't think there's really any guides out there talking about specifically your guys' method, because the stuff you do is I've never heard about it before. I've heard about YouTube automation, but I've never heard about what you guys actually do. So do you guys have any plans for like a free guide or anything on this YouTube channel?
Yeah, I think we're going to release some free stuff teaching people how to do this, because it's so much content out there that can be made. We make so much content and we're not even going to scratch the surface. So there's so many videos that can be made. We're just going to basically teach people on here how to do this for free, really. Yeah, so if you are watching now and you want to see a free guide from these guys, definitely subscribe. And I'll also put like a comment in the description saying you want a free guide. And then I'm sure these guys, if they get, 50 comments or something, they'll film a free guide. And I think you guys have set up a Telegram little channel thing. So if you look in the description as well, there should be a Telegram channel. If you click that, join that, there'll be some extra free guides and like some PDF guides that I'm sure you guys will make as well. But yeah, I want to go into kind of like more about your guys' relationship, because I find that quite interesting. And I'm sure a lot of people do that as well, because a lot of people want to start businesses with their friends and with other people. And those relationships are often very hard to kind of manage and split responsibilities and stuff like that, right? So how do you guys find working together? And then how do you guys get a benefit from having, obviously, a relationship like together, a business relationship?
I mean, just to start off with, Harvey and I have always been massive advocates for business relationships. You just think of it as a horse carriage. If you have one horse, you'll be running at a certain speed. You have two, you'll be a lot more powerful and you can pull more weight and you can bounce ideas and whatnot. So I find that when I've worked by myself, I haven't always been right. And so it's always good to have someone else to correct you in that case, because no one's perfect. Power in numbers. 2 is better than 1 in my opinion. It's helped us split responsibilities, especially in this YouTube thing that we do.
So when working with business partner, it's important that you kind of have roles that complement each other. So I kind of do more of like ideation and coming up with concepts and that kind of stuff. So kind of the why we're going to do it. And then he is more on the tech side and kind of figures out, how we're going to do it, really.
Yeah, that is a really interesting thing, because obviously I've spoken to you guys a bunch over the past week that I've been here in Thailand. Do you want to talk more about the kind of tech side that you do? I know it's going to be quite complicated for some people, but I think it's also really interesting. So try keep it kind of simple. I don't know anything.
I'll try and keep it kind of simple. But so just for a bit of background as well, when we got into this process, it was kind of an archaic process of making a video. It relied heavily on the skills of others. And then so last year, Harvey and I took a step back and then tried to break down the entire process of making our specific niche of videos and just see how simple we can make it. Because the simpler it is, the more we can scale it. So we did think, you heard us mention that we don't do any editing, and we personally don't do any script writing, and we personally also don't do any voiceovers. These were all bottlenecks of the previous process. And then so the way that we approach this is we wanted to do a kind of code plus AI approach to this, where we created our own tools. So one of the things we mentioned was research. Researching the keywords and videos to make is really hard. I think previously, and this was something that I wasn't a fan of, Harvey would literally sit there all day.
4 hours a day minimum sometimes, just to research keywords.
Yeah, just to find the right videos to make. And then so that was one of the first things we sat down and said, all right, I said to Harvey, I really don't want to sit down all day and research these topics. Surely there's a way that we can do this. And then so we created our own software. Now this software essentially scrapes the right keywords to make, and it qualifies them against certain thresholds like views and existing videos on this topic and competition.
I think a lot of people would have seen that if they ever tried like drop shipping. You have like a tool like Winning Hunt or whatever, and you set certain criteria in that where like the advert has to have 100,000 views or something. Otherwise you just ignore it basically.
So these tools like don't exist out there. There's so many tools on the market for like YouTube, but they just don't work for what we need it for. So we basically had to custom build our own tools for it, really.
Yeah, you can check the analytics for a channel and this and that, but in this niche where we're looking for specific keywords that people are searching for on Google and YouTube, it made a lot more sense. So yeah, we made our own software, and that was the first thing. We cut out, we significantly, honestly, reduced the keyword research by 99%. We have a bot that does everything now, and it is something that we are thinking of essentially releasing to others because it's helped us so much. And then the second stage of the tech was the actual process of making the videos. Initially, we had guys doing the voiceovers themselves, and we had guys editing the videos themselves and uploading the YouTube videos themselves. And then so we sat down and broke it down. We use AI voiceovers now, and we have programs that cut and splice videos, add the voiceovers over the videos themselves, and then upload it to a drive where it can be uploaded to YouTube. Now these are kind of like all of these kind of micro ways of speeding up the process really helped make it very efficient overall, very cost effective,
but also higher quality than everyone else's, because so many reasons we can just have a higher standard because we don't rely on human error.
And you have lower costs, and just everything makes it a lot easier. So it means that you win more, and you can post way more videos for this less effort than someone else can do it. And I think that's kind of an interesting thing as well, because again, spoken about this before, but like I think you guys value the freedom side of things that this brings you, where it's like YouTube automation, like it's truly is automation, right? Using the AI stuff that most people have access to, right? And then obviously the VAs, but then also all of your back-end systems that you've built up through doing this for a couple of years. Like how much effort do you put into a channel that's earning you a few thousand profit every month?
At this point, it's so easy. It takes, in terms of like weekly management, it's probably less than 1 hour per day. It's really just like.
And what is that? What is that 1 hour? Like,
so we have this one guy who just manages everyone, and we just check on him. I say, "Is everything okay?" He's like, "Yep, everything's okay." And then at the end of the week, he gives us a timesheet, and we just pay everyone. And then also we will just kind of distribute keywords through a dashboard that we've created. So it's really just like making sure everything's running smoothly. But if we wanted to start a new channel tomorrow, we could have it up and running within 3 hours, and then it would take like 1 hour. It would take 1 hour per week to kind of just maintain and scale, really.
Yeah, I mean, the way we operate is very top down. We have we just kind of oversee productivity in our team. The way we've designed our system is so in a way that we just distribute keywords, which are video titles, and then our guys make those videos, and those are uploaded automatically. And so all we really have to do is just monitor productivity. And there's a massive HR aspect to this. We have a team of 10 plus people now. And so I'd say actually most of the work is really dealing with people rather than any issues with the videos themselves.
But the thing is, because we have a manager now, we don't even deal with that. He hires people, he deals with the problems, he does all of that stuff. So it's really just dealing with him, really. And he's great. Yeah. and he's also a ex-YouTube employee. So he used to manage a team of people at YouTube. So he also tells us all of the rules and regulations of YouTube, like things to avoid, where we should be careful. Does this matter? Does that matter? He like basically gives us all of the inside source for YouTube as well. So that helped a lot to hire him.
And just on the topic of a team itself as well, it might sound crazy. You have 10 plus employees. A business in the UK or the US with 10 plus employees would cost hundreds and hundreds of thousands per year. Whereas actually, if you outsource into the Philippines, you can have a team of 4 or 5 people for under £2,000 a month, or $2,500, $3,000 a month, which is insane. And it's something that we say really is our superpower in doing this and scaling, was outsourcing and creating these processes.
And now that we've kind of standardized the process as well, it's so easy. We just tell the manager, we just tell him we need a new team, and tomorrow, if I said to him now, I need a new team of 4 people, tomorrow we'd be on a call with them, and by 2 days time they would be up to scratch making videos. Like it's because everything's standardized really well. It's just scalable like that.
It's like a production line, really, in a factory. There's different people working in different sections, and really great outputs.
Yeah.
So obviously both of you guys have done a bunch of different business models, and you've both made 7 figures doing those business models over the past 5-6 years now, right? So how does this business model actually impact your life? Because a lot of people on YouTube just talk about money and money and money and money. And at the end of the day, obviously, if you're broke, you don't really think like this, but once you've made a bit of money, a lot of people realize money ain't really everything. There's more to it than that, right? So do you guys want to touch a bit about that, kind of what you've come to now after being an entrepreneur for 5, 6, 7 years? How do you view money, and how do you view kind of the life that you want to live?
Yeah. I mean, so what I'd say is this model, compared to all the others are high revenue vanity metrics. This will just give you a lot more cash in the bank at the end of every single month. You get paid profits every single month that you can go ahead and actually spend, and you don't have to worry about, cash flow and reinvesting in ads and all this and that. So it gives you a lot more money to go ahead and actually spend. So because of that, we've been able to kind of move to Thailand and live in a luxury apartment and kind of just enjoy life and do so many different side quests that we wouldn't have been able to do, because number one, other business models take so much of your time, and also they're so inconsistent that you don't know if you can spend money because you might need to pay for this next month, sort of thing.
Something that's very comforting about all of this is, worst case, we know we could turn off the entire team and we can forget about any kind of managerial responsibilities, and we will still be being paid by YouTube. And that's very comforting. It will just keep coming in each month for years to come, without having to have any team in the background, any processes running. So I think, very lifestyle prioritizing.
But also, you guys are both British, right? We're all British. So when have you left the UK for good now? Because you've been here for a while. Harvey's been in Thailand. Right now we're in Phuket for 7-8 months?
I've been here for 8 months now.
Yeah, and then you've just kind of come out here.
Yeah,
kind
I've
of
been
recently.
here for a month now. I did come in November as well. To be honest with you, when I explain it to people, it's very hard to justify coming back to the UK when you compare the lifestyle that you can live here versus in England. There's so much to it. You can be as standard as talking about the weather, about how nice people are here, and then how cheap things are as well. Although we definitely do spend a bit more money than the average person here, the average holiday goer.
So the amount that you would get for your money, we probably spend more here than we would in England, but the amount that you get for your money here is insane. It's great. We go eat at restaurants every
the quality of life here, even if you were just kind of a normal 9-to-5 person and had that level of income, is just levels above what you can afford in the UK. Yeah. It's so interesting here in Thailand. I think it's genuinely one of the best places for younger entrepreneurs, or anyone really, to move to. And I know a lot of people that are actually considering moving out here. Even one of the guys on the live stream last night, I think he's moving here with his wife pretty soon. But so you're not moving back to the UK?
I mean, for the foreseeable future, I plan on staying here, and it's the same for Harvey, really. I don't think I'm gonna, be here till I'm 50 or anything.
Well, what I'll say is, people ask me how long I've been here, that live here, expats. I say I've been here 8 months, and they'll say you're never leaving. And, I don't see much incentive to. I go see my family and some friends, but you just have everything here. And the island that we live on is, you can get around anywhere in the island within like 40 minutes on our Honda CRF 300Ls. and you can just do so many things. So like we went go-karting, we went shooting guns.
We woke up one morning and said, let's get some dirt bikes. So now we have dirt bikes.
And then you went off-roading.
We went off-roading on the dirt bikes.
We crashed the dirt bike.
We crashed the dirt bikes. They're still good though.
We play pickleball, tennis.
We do Muay Thai. I'm just starting, but he's much better than I.
Surfing.
Swimming in the sea anytime. You can go any shop that you have in the UK, you have here.
Yeah,
even IKEA. There's an IKEA here.
We have like a great shopping mall here. It has like Gucci. It has like a whole
Rolex. I personally think the shopping mall here is better than the best one in the UK, which is probably Westfield. It's really fantastic here.
So basically, YouTube has enabled you to leave the UK and live your best life, is what you're trying to say.
Basically, yeah.
And it's better than other business models you've tried because the freedom mainly, right? Like it enables you to have consistent income, which in fairness, most other business models don't. Like I do ecom and I'm fucking worrying about cash flow and worrying about the employees that are physically and in person. And then national minimum wage just went up like 10%. So it's like sick, thousands extra a month.
All of us have experienced this in the last 5-6 years of business, where you have these crazy highs followed by crazy lows. It's been very scary. There's been times where you go from earning 100k in a month and then you earn nothing for the next 4 months. You're doing the exact same thing, and that kind of worry has left my mind coming to YouTube. It's just a very different way of being paid. And we talk about search traffic. People are always searching these things, and my videos are always going to be there. And so I will always be being paid. My Shopify product isn't going to die in the next month, and I have to look for another one.
Something else I'll say is, for every other business model I've done, I've never been able to consistently put away money and invest it. With this, every single month, I can consistently, every single week, put a large sum of money into the S&P 500 and just like compound like investment money over time as well, which is I've never been able to consistently do without worrying about it in the past. This is like another thing, you just put away so much money with it too.
Yeah, with previous business models, it's always been a while before I actually start taking money out of the business. It's always like, okay, well, I'm going to reinvest this and this and this. But almost from the jump, right at the start, we were pulling money out of this and taking a salary and splitting it and whatnot. Like, it's been fantastic from the start. There hasn't really been any kind of nervous periods of we need to keep this in here to fund X, Y, and Z, or to test this product or whatnot. So.
Yeah.
I hope you guys have got value from this podcast so far, right? And learned a little bit more about Alex and a little bit more about Harvey. If you have any questions about kind of YouTube automation, put them in the comment section below, or join the Telegram in the description of this video. Go into there. There'll be a way to message one of these guys and you can ask them your questions, right? I'm sure there's going to be a free guide coming in probably a couple of weeks' time. So make sure you subscribe as well and turn on the little notification bell. Yeah. Cool. And then I'm sure these guys will put my Instagram in the comment section as well. And you can follow us. But yeah, hope you guys got value. I think it's really interesting. Both of these guys have really interesting stories. I think there was a lot of stuff we didn't even touch on. So maybe there'll be a part 2 or anything like this as well. But
thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it. See you soon.